If you've ever worked in a male-dominated environment, you probably heard the term boys club. But here's the thing, not every man is in it. And even if you are, you have a choice. Be just another member, or be the guy who changes the room and earns respect, influence, and trust along the way. Before we go any further, this is not a witch hunt. Women's experiences in male-dominated environments are real and valid. But my goal here isn't to shame men. It's to invite you to see how small actions can change culture for the better. For a long time, I thought the boys' club would always stay the boys' club. No matter how I dressed, how I spoke, how hard I worked. The rules were not mine to change. I felt stuck. And the worst part, I didn't know how to get help. Due to my independence, I thought I had to do it all on my own. Eventually, I gave up. I didn't want a career anymore. But then, my hero showed up. Some men did small things that completely changed my perspective. They credited my ideas in meetings or defended them when I wasn't there. They redirected questions back to me. They gave support on how to approach difficult people. They named me as the leader of a topic, and they stopped the interruptions. It wasn't flashy. It wasn't a speech about equality. I started getting support. I started getting recognition. And to be frank, I couldn't really believe it. They showed me that courage and fairness aren't just ideals. They are choices anyone can make. And I still carry that lesson with me every single day. And seeing what they did made me realize anyone in the room can make that choice. You don't need to have a title or power. You just need the courage to act. Their actions changed my world. And you can change someone else's too, if you're willing to step up. But what exactly is a boys' club, and how do you even spot it if you're in the middle of it? Well, that's what we're about to break down. A boys' club is an informal system or male-dominated culture that often excludes women and marginalized groups from networking, decision-making, and even opportunities. Over time, this can lead to sexism and discrimination, even if it's not intentional. How do you recognize one? Sometimes you might not even notice it. You're too focused on your projects, on your day-to-day work. But the moment you start paying a little bit of attention, patterns start to emerge. In these environments, women's ideas get repeated or stolen. Interruptions are constant, and meetings happen without them. They are also held to higher standards than their male counterparts. These patterns are exhausting, unfair, and often invisible to many. And the truth is, when no one steps in, the boys' club just keeps rolling by default. I've lived this my whole life, even since school. I was in classes that were mostly men. I was always in the science path. Then in university, I studied engineering. More or less the same, right? So when I entered the workforce, being the only woman in the room wasn't that strange to me. It was just the norm. But just because you get used to it, doesn't mean it's right. Now, here's where you come in. You don't need to tear the club down. You just need to decide. Are you reinforcing it? Or are you the hero who changes the room? First, give credit. If your female colleague is not in the room, or even if she is and you see someone taking over her idea, you can just say, that's exactly what Sarah suggested earlier. Boom! You're protecting fairness and showing leadership. Second, stop interruptions. If you see another colleague interrupting a female colleague, you can just say, hold on, let her finish. Or if you know that colleague a little bit better, you can just say, not cool, she was speaking. Simple words, huge impact. Third, redirect questions. If someone comes up to you and asks about a project a woman is responsible for, redirect them to the right person. You can say something as simple as, that's actually her project, she's the best person to answer that. If you are presenting in front of an audience with a woman and she's the brains behind it, let her speak first, even if you are the one that gets the question. Lauren is the one who did the technical work. What do you say? And you look at her. Fourth, invite voices. In rooms where the same voices dominate over and over, break the pattern. You can just say, hey, I'm interested in knowing what Maya thinks. Maybe you can also check whether that's desired, or ask afterwards if they are comfortable. You don't have to be loud, you can do it in private. Don't put anyone in the spot unwillingly as well. That's something I also do with male developers who are more introverted, to bring them into the conversation. Fifth, drive inclusion. If a networking event is happening and a woman in the team wasn't invited, just ask her to join. You don't need to ask for permission. If someone then gives you a hard time about it, you can just say, this is a team event. Why shouldn't Elizabeth be here? Sixth, become a mentor. You don't need a title to be a mentor. You can help them prep. Support the ownership of the projects that they are responsible for. You can step in gently if they need a little bit of help. Even small gestures matter. Just think, wouldn't you want someone to do this for your daughter or for your spouse if you were in there? Small hero moves equals career wins. Every time you do this, people notice. Women see you as a go-to collaborator. Leadership sees you as the person everyone trusts. You earn respect, influence, and opportunities without stepping on anyone. But how do you even know if you're doing it right? Well, there are some signs that you can see. At first, your male colleagues will react a little bit weird. You're gonna be thinking, why is this guy doing that? But right after, you're gonna see the cool colleagues from the company gravitating towards you. They're just gonna wanna talk, hang out, or invite you to things for no reason. Women will notice. Admiration, respect, and request for collaboration will grow. You're gonna notice them staring at you a little bit. But trust me, it's in the good sense. Leadership might start trusting you with more responsibility. Influence spreads quietly but powerfully. And you might be wondering at this point, if it's that easy, why isn't everyone doing this? But here's the thing, not everyone is built for this. Most people will stay quiet, stay safe, and let the boys club continue. And that's fine, it's their choice. But the men who step up, they are remembered, they are trusted, and everyone wants them on their team. That's the difference between being a club member and a hero. Heroes are remarkable because they do what others aren't willing to. It takes guts to step up and do things differently. But you don't need to risk your life or your face. Small gestures can have a strong impact. So when you walk into your next meeting, ask yourself, am I just another guy in the boys club? Or am I the hero who makes sure everyone feels respected, heard, and credited? It's a choice. Every time you make it, you don't just help someone else. You shift culture, you build trust, and you become the teammate that everyone wants to work with. The boys club isn't inevitable. It only lasts while people stay silent. Be the guy who acts. Be the hero.